We're going to make plays. We're going to play hard. We're going to do what we got to do. O-line, D-line, toughness, 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 toughness.
Hey, Buckeye Nation. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast, your only commercial-free Ohio State football podcast. These guys were born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcast. Now, pour a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick.
What is up? We are back. We're back in our Sunday slot, Overreaction Sunday. This will come out Monday morning-ish, Monday afternoon, whatever. As always, folks, please rate, review the show. Recommend it to a friend. Help others find it. We are back doing our weekly shows. Again, apologies for the couple-week hiatus while I was down with the vid. As always, the supply store still has free shipping going on, so check it out. Action's been hot and heavy up in there. Get ready for your Big Ten schedule. We've got some Beat Sparty shirts. We've got We Hate Penn State shirts. We've got Michigan Our Bitchigan. All the good stuff. So check those out. Get those in before game week, actually. So, Shawn, you got any bourbon to discuss tonight?
Nothing new really. Just I've got me a Buffalo poured.
There you go.
That's in the house right now, but I haven't really been on it. So just kind of winding down a long weekend. Some high school football and enjoying one tonight.
Yeah, I'm kind of still getting my taste buds back. I can't really taste like the finer notes of most bourbon and food and things. I can taste super salty food, and I can obviously get the general taste of bourbon right now, but like some of the notes of Buffalo I'm not picking up yet. So hopefully I'm not one of those long haul COVID people, because
long COVID.
Yeah, so I like to be able to, I mean, I can smell shit like strong scents, and
I can smell shit.
Right, but I don't think I smelled my shit this morning. Noted. Anyway, so I got a random off-topic question since we don't really have any bourbon to talk about. What kind of music do you listen to nowadays? We haven't talked about music in a long, long time.
I'm pretty random. I've usually got it on a news station that I listen to up here that's got some talk, because I don't know, I get sick of the same songs. I know most people are playing their own playlist, but I get sick of my own shit too when I play it too long.
Right,
so,
yeah.
I like to keep it fresh in my head. But this plays a lot of stuff anywhere from like 90s up until modern. I would say like alternative type of stuff, not real heavy, but play some stuff that you haven't heard in 15 years. You're like, oh shit, man, I forgot that song was even out.
Is that like Spotify, or what is that? Sirius?
No, it's just a local radio station in Detroit.
Oh, okay. Over-the-air radio? Who uses that?
I know. I'm a throwback, man.
Yeah, old school. Do you get your HD TV over the air?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, got one of those awesome antennas and shit. Yeah, I we have a couple playlists we listen to. We do cocktails every night. Walk down to the water, but when we come back up, got a little like evening chill playlist of like Jimmy Buffett. I have my playlist that I like to switch up every once in a while when the old lady's not paying attention is mostly Hank Jr. and Waylon Jennings and old school country like 60s, 70s, 80s.
Nice.
I love some George Jones, all the old stuff, maybe a little Charlie Daniels. That's when she's not paying attention. She hears it, she's like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, all my rowdy friends have settled down.
I've got some buddies that are, really into, like newer, what do you call it, Southern rock or whatever country, but not that pop country shit. More like Tyler Childers, like Shooter Jennings, that kind of stuff.
Cool. I don't know anything past the 90s. If it's newer than Garth Brooks, I haven't heard it.
There's some really good stuff out there.
Okay. Maybe I'll dip my toe in. I like old school country, that we grew up with, at parties and shit like that. But anyway, just thought I'd throw a monkey wrench into the plans here. And so, because this Akron game doesn't really require a lot of rehashing, I don't think. You give me your one big thing. We talk about our big things every week. What's your one big thing from this week?
Outside of the one big thing, I'll go with to me the obvious thing, which is Travion.
Oh, okay.
This dude is this. I don't know, man. I don't see many backs look like. I don't see any backs that we've had in a while look like him.
Yeah.
I know it was Akron, but he's been doing this, and I mean that guy averages like 10 yards a carry every time he plays.
Yeah.
And I'm on board with him. That's my positive out of that.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of. I'm happy with Kyle McCord, honestly. I mean, he took a difficult task in the taking on of a job in a week's time for a quarterback, not in the opponent. I realize Akron is, slightly better than a Division II team. So, but I'm really happy with Kyle McCord. I mean, he was a little shaky, early, and which was to be expected. I mean, CJ's done the same shit, but settled in. They called some plays to get him comfortable and maybe pad his stats a little bit, with some easy throws and things like that. But he kind of settled in, and I was happy with him. I mean, I don't think there's and call me crazy. I mean, you can take this in your own direction if you want, but I don't think there's a quarterback controversy right now. Do you?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Is there a question between who should start the next game against Rutgers? Is my question.
In my mind, no.
Okay. Yeah, then there's no controversy. Yeah.
I don't know how others feel, but yeah, I think no, it's Stroud.
Yeah.
Just because as long as he's healthy. I just, you think, what's the pressure on a kid like this? There's three of them that are all freshmen and a fourth one right there behind them. And you go down and, what's the pressure on this? Does Stroud push himself to come back too early? Because, if you sit there too long, that's how you do lose your job,
Right.
And you just wonder what the pressure is on these kids to maybe be too much of a tough guy and push it a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I know Rutgers is coming up, but I think we at least we have some, and Ryan Day, most importantly, has some reps.
Hello.
We're just talking about whether there's a QB controversy or not, and we kind of agree that there isn't, because it's pretty obvious that Kyle is definitely the number 2, but it doesn't seem like CJ has lost his job or anybody's overtaken him.
No, I mean, it was Akron. I mean, anybody. I think Jack Miller would have thrown for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns if he played the whole game. You know, I think any of the quarterbacks would. They all would have. No, I don't. I don't think it would have taken like a perfect performance from McCord, against Akron.
Well,
like perfect, like 22 out of 24, 380 and 4 touchdowns.
Right.
That would it would have taken. I think it would have taken that to say, well, it was just Akron, but damn, look how good he was.
Right. Let me throw the uninformed box score reader fan at you then, where they just go to the ESPN box score and it says Kyle McCord, 13 of 18, 319 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception, QBR of 70, whatever. So these are the people that I'm trying to combat, I guess, and I'd love to get in a fist fight with them because they don't see the big picture and they don't really know football. They just go look at a box score, But
are they the ones that are the loudest on Twitter?
They can be, yeah. They can be the unsilent majority.
Yet it's only Twitter. I mean, but it's on message boards and everywhere else. It's not just Twitter. I understand.
Yeah.
But
I haven't seen Nevada Bucks Nuggets from this week.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how the Wiseman feel about this game.
He's gonna have to. He's gonna need a new site.
Yeah, I wonder what he's doing. Like, wonder what him and Barton are doing. Like for the game. Like, wonder what they did. Like
texting each other.
Well, Nevada. That dude lives out in Manhattan Beach. Barton lives lives there in Columbus. Huh. Anyways, be interested to see wonder where we can get their opinions because they won't go on any other pods. I don't know. I can't imagine that people are really. Definitely nobody that watched the game. I don't think anybody that watched the game could take away. Oh, this kid's way better option than Stroud. Now, I could have the opinion that says, if Stroud's injured, I feel okay with him out there. Guessing that he's only going to get better from this performance going forward if he were to play more. But that's about where it ends for me. Having confidence in McCord if he gets called upon again. Stroud's a quarterback. Hopefully there's not an uproar that makes people have to address it really, because it shouldn't need to be addressed. Hopefully Ryan Day's already taken care of it with the people in the locker room, because that's what really matters. If he's talked to them before any public statements are made, that's what matters. Great game. He probably did. Great, Kyle. He said, great game, Kyle. There's a lot to work on. Good job. Whatever. And we're on to game week. And then if Stroud comes back working in practice, he's going to go right back in the ones, and it's going to be like that was last week. Before Stroud sat out. So.
Yeah, Jeff. Go ahead, Shawn.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, all right.
I was finishing up.
So I guess really coming out of a 59-7 win is not. There's nothing fantastic. Travion goes off. Me and Shawn kind of touched on that. Master T got a couple touchdowns. Evan Pryor got in the game, got in the end zone.
Looked good. It looked good.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson, Jackson looked good. Emeka with the big 85-yarder. So kind of a stat padding game, defense, especially the front four really got after it. But, again, it's Akron. I would hope.
Well, everybody's supposed to have at least one of these. Some schools have more than one of these every year.
Right.
But everybody has one. Everybody has at least one.
Right.
You play one good team out of one good out of conference. You try to match up one big matchup. You got an in-state like this, and then you got maybe a so-so. We got a so-so, a big out of conference, and an in-state. This is what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we looked like we were supposed to look.
Right.
That's the main thing I took away from the game. Yeah. My big takeaway.
Right. So the other big thing is obviously the linebacker room. This seems to be a major mess right now. Al needs to do some major cleanup on aisle 5.
Hey, Al.
Yeah.
Hey, Al.
Al Washington.
Attention, please.
Yeah. Major cleanup required with Gant entering the portal on Wednesday, and now Kayvon throwing a fucking hissy fit on the sideline. And he was dismissed today. Obviously issued an apology. None of it matters.
From what I listened to the Letterman Row initial response after the game, they said it was clear It was clear right then when he came back that Ryan Day said you are not welcome on the sideline anymore. So I think Day made it official today, but I think he made it official to Kayvon last night. I did not see it during the game. I didn't have any. I did not notice anything like that going on.
They mentioned it in the third quarter. They had video of Kayvon kind of being walked out of the stadium up the ramp, but nothing. They didn't have the part where he was going to rip off his jersey and threw his gloves in the stands and shit like that. So doesn't matter though.
Shawn, did you see? Did you show him the tweet that he tweeted during the game?
Yeah, I sent it to you guys. Yeah, he said "fuck Ohio State." So,
then it's deleted now because I looked for it this morning.
Sure.
He did.
Yeah, he deleted it shortly after. That was like at 8:15 last night or 8:20, something like that.
Yeah, like that was
immediately when he left the field. It would seem. So.
Yeah, like. Go to the locker room, gets his phone, immediately goes to Twitter. Right. Fuck Ohio State.
Right.
Like, come on, man. Where's your head at? Even if that's exactly how you feel, you don't have enough awareness to know that that's not your best move. It doesn't put you in the best light.
This is not the first time he's made this mistake either. I believe it was last season. He was bitching about. He said something to the effect of, "I thought it was next man up," complaining about his pecking order in the depth chart. So I don't know. This kid's been a problem, and he's never really performed anyways. So best of luck.
Been in the program 3 years. Yeah, been in the program 3 years. Why have you not made a move? Why you just been waiting on people? Why are you waiting on people? And then while you're waiting on the people that are older, the people that are younger came up and fucking snuck you. Hey man. That's how it goes. Dallas Gant, same way. They're in the same class, right?
Yeah.
They're from the same recruit. Yeah. Well, Gant, I don't know. It seems like a better way of handling it. He just said, "I see where I'm at here. I got to bounce. I got to get going while I can."
But Ryan Day did say yesterday after the game that he was not happy with the way Gant handled it because he had made a certain commitment to the team. Now, what that means, I don't know. It could mean he said to his coach, "I'll be here, for the season," but then decided before the 4-game, redshirt window closed that he would bounce.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
So,
well,
I don't know. It just seems like so. My bigger picture issue is there a culture problem right now in the program? Not just in the linebacker room. What do you think, Shawn?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, this game they were dominant. I loved, just about all of what I saw. But I don't know. Prior to this game, I don't know. Something on that defense just doesn't seem right. And obviously, I guess we're changing coordinators and all that. But so maybe they're pulling it together. And maybe Kayvon's just not part of that solution. And, I know Day stresses that brotherhood out there. And if you get psycho on the field, I don't know.
Well, they do have a lot of packages on defense going in and out.
You know what? If I'm Kayvon Pope and I see the play of the linebackers, I'd like, give me more of a shot. But because it hasn't been great, and I can see how it's frustrating for a kid like him. But you just got to handle it better.
So, what do you think from a big picture program point of view.
No, I think Kayvon regrets what he said, and I don't even think he doesn't mean what he said. I think he means it, but he knows he shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like there's a big tug of war going on within the program right now, and Ryan Day's in the middle of it. I think he's kind of, this is his first, I guess, major issue. Not the Kayvon issue, but taking a loss. Everybody is being scrutinized on the entire team, from quarterback to defense to everything. So I feel like it's a huge internal struggle right now within the program. I'm not saying that they're folding up shop and, evil is going to rule, but I feel like I see, like, don't forget about the players leaving the field early a couple weeks ago and not singing Carmen, Ohio, like upperclassmen. So I know that some of these,
and that was the Oregon game, right, Joe?
Yeah, it was a loss. It was in a loss. Yep.
I won't put much into that because I know how I've felt after big losses, and at really high level, with the highest level I ever competed at. I didn't react the greatest either. I just the last thing I want to do is So in the heat of the moment, you just want to get out of there. You just want to get, you don't want people around you. You just got to get away. I get it.
Ohio State's had bigger losses,
Right, but maybe to those few kids, if their only reason was, I can't, I just need to get away. I just need to get away.
I don't accept that. That's not acceptable in my opinion.
Well, just so regardless, you have to just sit there and sing Carmen, Ohio?
Yeah, everybody else is fucking doing it. Your entire team is doing it. Your coaches, everybody took that loss, not just you.
I got you. If it's 100, yeah. I see what you're saying though. If it's 100%, it's 100%, and it's the reason it's 100%.
It shows a lack of commitment.
I got
to
you.
me.
I got you. Like I understand what you're saying.
It's
like
selfish.
But if the kid, or so if some kid's really struggling, there's some guys that need to come around, get around him, kind of.
But these were upperclassmen like Garrett Wilson.
It was Garrett?
That's rumored. I don't know that for sure. I'm going to name names.
Well, I would like to hear their comment on it.
They were never asked. Who's going to ask them?
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what
I just think so. My point was,
I would like to know if it's true or not. One,
I don't know. You look at Garrett Wilson, how hard he goes. I don't.
Yeah, we don't.
That guy.
I want to know if it's true, and then if it's true, I just want to know what they have to say about it. Like, what were they seeing, and was it how it's described? Did they just walk off and not stay? I don't know. I'd like to hear about it, but if it's just something that's been rumored and it's never going to be mentioned again, then
right. Well, I'm saying these are mounting things that have all kind of come around in the last 2 weeks, and so when you start putting, there's a lot of smoke.
I got you.
And,
I see it.
And
I know
so it's like, okay, all these things are pointing to maybe a lack of, I don't know, control, or just the brotherhood maybe isn't so strong right at this moment, but it's pointing to a negative vibe coming out of the program.
I don't know. I think you can take it as a positive vibe almost, because what did they say after that? It's like, this is where we find out who we are after a loss, what kind of people we are, and who's going to be leaders, and who's going to stick in there, and whatnot. And maybe this is just kind of the weeding out process. Where it's been a tough couple weeks at the Woody.
Also, I've heard from recruits that have been on visits the last couple weekends for games. just what they're tweeting about. TJ Hicks and a couple others, just how much they love it here, can't wait to be a part of it, blah blah blah, all a bunch of positives. Now they could just be, I don't know what kids use Twitter for, recruits like that. If they use it to just gas people up, or if they're just being honest, I don't know. But it does it, and there's crystal balls coming in for, I believe E9 White.
Okay.
I think.
Well, let's not turn this into a recruiting segment.
No. I'm just saying. I'm speaking more to just the general positivity that I see around the program. Yeah. I don't mean I wasn't trying to get off on the other conversation. But,
yeah.
So I think there might like the momentum. Maybe there is a lot of good going around there, and maybe it just so happens that when some good needs to come, some bad's got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have both.
Right, right. I'm not totally against weeding out bad seeds and shit like that. But my point was in bringing up all these three things that just happened within a very short time period.
Yeah, Pope and the guys leaving.
Do you think shortly you could see Miller transfer?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't want to hit that four game window probably. So you're very right. I mean,
I don't take that as, and I'm not going to take that as the program's falling apart. I'm going to take that as, it's better off for him.
Now, is it 4 games, like 4 games into the season, or 4 games he's played in?
You have 4 games you play in. It doesn't matter when it is.
Yeah, okay, because he's not going to play in 4 games probably this year.
He can
probably, I don't know.
I guess, yeah, unless somebody gets hurt, but yeah, probably.
I mean, minus a quarterback injury where he goes to number 2, but I mean, it's not likely that. I mean, there might be a few Big Ten games that end up being blowouts, but other than that, he won't see any playing time other than this game. That's why this game was important, I thought. I didn't think we were going to see him again this year, barring injury.
Right. So
I guess you can transfer anytime before you play 4 games in the season.
Yeah. You don't even have to transfer before then. I mean, you're not going to be able to play until next season anyways, so it doesn't do you much good to just transfer now, unless you just want to get on a new campus after the semester. Because you still have to stay in class the rest of the semester. And the deadline to transfer and play in the same year is like July something. So if you haven't transferred before July, you're not playing the rest of this year at a new school.
Oh.
So it doesn't matter. So anyway, Jeff, you almost nailed the final score. You had 55-7.
Yeah, how about that?
Yep.
I thought we were going to get another field goal, man. I thought we were going to get another field goal was coming through.
Yeah, Ruggles need more fucking
I was back and forth, though, honestly. I was back and forth thinking, that's a huge-ass spread to ask of these guys. We haven't exactly looked great.
I took
it. So
I took it.
But after that first drive, of course, then I'm texting Rebecca. She was driving. She was on the road last night traveling. And I texted her, I go, of course Akron scored first. It's 7-0. Like eye roll.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Now I said, at that point, I said, there's no way we're covering the spread. Now there's no fucking way we're going to do it.
Yeah.
They scored first. How we're going to cover 49? But that is having to work out. We love getting the defensive touchdowns.
Yep, definitely. Shawn, you were close. You had 52-17. Expecting more out of the Zip offense, apparently. I was way off.
Quarterback's for real, though.
Especially late.
Yeah.
Late.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I think that quarterback, his ability kept him out of probably 5 more sacks.
Yeah.
That quarterback, he's just running for his life. He couldn't do nothing. But
yeah.
He played hard though. I mean, I liked him. He knew he was overmatched, but he kept battling.
Yeah.
He's hard to get down sometimes.
Like we talked about, huge day for the D-line. Tyliek, Haskell coming in with 5 sacks together. Still Chambers in there making plays. Teradja. How about DeMario? DeMario getting in there and mixing it up. Got a knockdown pass. Shawn, you called Jack Sawyer on defense.
Yeah.
I had JTT. He had a whiff. I think Haskell might have stolen one of his sacks. But yeah, obviously they played another 30 fucking guys. Everybody got in there. So Akron game,
which is to be expected.
To
this is the game. This was the game that you were supposed to play 30 guys because you were playing your true.
Not because you don't know who your best players are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this game looked like how it was supposed to look, like how we were supposed to do it with Akron.
Mm-hmm.
We rested our starting quarterback because he just just needed a little rest. Went with the 2 backups, and then we were super huge. We got to play everybody we wanted to, when we wanted to, how we wanted to. Nothing was dictated to us. It was exactly how it was supposed to be, which I was just almost it's like refreshing to see. Like, hey, this is how it's supposed to go.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's jump into this Rutgers game real quick, and then we've got a handful of Big Ten games and a little bit of national football to talk. So Buckeyes going on the road to SHIT Stadium. Shocking that shit stadium is in New Jersey. So we got Rutgers at 3:30 on BTN. Thank God it's not.
I thought it was just Shiano. Shiano's already big enough to have half the name. I thought you get half of Shiano gets to be on the name of the stadium already.
Oh, that makes sense. So that's the SH part.
If he gets an upset victory this next weekend, and it's gonna be Shiano Stadium.
Yeah, I would think. So the Fighting Shiano's coming in 3-1. They beat Temple, Syracuse, and Delaware. Took the L to Michigan last week, but I will say they put up a hell of a second half for playing like shit in the first half.
I think the final couple of minutes, they held Michigan to 2 second half first downs, I believe.
Yeah.
Shut them. I mean, that defense was.
And they got jobbed. They got some PIs that weren't called in the end zone.
Yeah.
Shiano made some stupid decisions there on 4th downs as well.
Well, you're going to have that.
Yeah, well.
You're going to have that. It's the Jersey guy.
Yeah, I guess. Is that what you call it?
But they fought like hell, and I thought that game was in the balance. I mean, that game was never like, oh, Michigan's got it in control, but Rutgers is sticking around. Rutgers fought and came after them.
I know.
We know they're not. They gave us hell last year, completely outmanned. But right. I expect the same this year. I expect the exact same.
Yeah,
they're going to come in and fight.
Well, they held Michigan scoreless in the second half. Yeah. They did not put up a fucking point.
The zero offense.
4 3-and-outs in the second half. They held Michigan to 4 of 11 on 3rd downs. That's huge. So their defense.
They got off the field. Something we still haven't done a real good job at.
Yeah.
Getting off the field on 3rd down.
Their defense is not playing around. I mean, Michigan's the first decent team they played. They got 11 returning starters on offense, 10 on defense. We know their stars on offense. Noah Vedral, the quarterback. He's a, kind of a dual threat guy. He's not going to light it up through the air.
But he's got some moxie. He's got
you can't
moxie.
have too much of that.
He's big on the moxie. He's got.
Still looking for a definition of what moxie means. I haven't, in 50 years of life, I have not figured out a definition of that. But it sounds awesome.
But he made some plays though.
Sure.
Hutchinson almost had him in the grass last. He just kind of ducked under him and just threw a little sidearm deal. But he's not a threat. Worst case scenario is them having to come back and pass. Strictly go passing game to catch up to us. That's their worst position.
Well, seemingly their game plan is to get down early and then make a ball game out of it. I mean, that's what they did to us last year. That's what they just did to Michigan, and apparently,
as long as you don't keep scoring,
you cover the spread. That's all I cared about. I took them with the 20. That was a fucking layup. So, you got Vedral, you got Pacheco, the fight doctor, and you got the receivers. You got Cruikshank from Wisconsin. Bo Melton, their leading receiver. These guys put up 200 yards rushing against Michigan. Michigan's supposed to be so fucking, tough at the point of attack. Kind of got walked on.
But yeah, that vaunted Michigan rushing offense, Blake Corum for Heisman talk pretty much got shut down by these Scarlet Knights.
Now, granted, I saw every play of the second half and probably most of the second quarter. But what did Blake Corum do in the first quarter? Because that dude doesn't look like anything special to me. He's shifty. He's shifty. He can get some positive yards out of nothing. But
he's the speed guy.
Is he?
Haskins is the pounder.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just
okay.
I'm
all right.
comparing them to the rest of the fucking roster.
Yeah, I'm saying, you just didn't see that. You didn't see him. He didn't explode on anything that I saw.
Well, he had 68 yards. I mean, on 21 carries, that's a 3.2 average. No touchdowns. Haskins was the goal line,
the bigger guy.
Touchdown vulture. So, he gets those goal line carries.
Chris Perry, if you will. If you're Leroy Horde.
I will. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that Michigan game, I don't know how much you can take from that and apply to this Buckeye game because the offenses are so different, So anyway, the big question really for the Buckeyes is how is CJ's shoulder, and is it rested enough for him to come out here and put up a good day? 4 quarters, not a half.
Yeah, I mean, we won't get any kind of updates during the week. I'm sure Ryan Day's going to be asked like crazy in his press conference and everything, and he will give 0 answers, and we'll take a look at it toward the end of the week. That's what we're going to keep hearing. So we're not going to know anything. We got to assume, I guess, that if you want, we can just assume that a week's rest is going to do him good. Maybe we'll get an update whether or not he's practicing full reps, and that'll be the only indication of his recovery. But we got to assume. I know he's going to go back to be the starter. I could not imagine that changing at all, or there even being a split of playing time. I can't imagine at all. So as long as he's back and feeling better. But if he's not, if the shoulder lingers, then the questions will linger, and that's just natural. That's going to happen. You can't avoid it. So,
Okay.
I think for everybody's sake, it'd be better to get a definitive. CJ's fine. We're back to work, preparing for Rutgers.
On the Cincinnati.
On the Cincinnati.
Okay. Shawn, what do you think? You think this is CJ's job and he comes out and performs glowingly? Or you think we see more of the same?
I think he'll come out and have a decent game. I think Rucker, whatever you want to call them, kind of shot their game this week with Michigan. Yeah. I think they busted their ass. It was a good game. Like you said, they hung in there, fought back. That defense stood up again against a terrible game plan by Michigan as usual. But I don't know. I think they're going to be a little bit deflated this week. That was a huge game for them, and I expect us to kind of beat them bad. Yeah.
Okay. So you think they're a little bruised and battered, huh?
I do. I just think a little down on themselves.
Yeah.
Played a tough game.
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
Yeah. It's Big Ten play.
Pretty physical. I mean, pretty physical game too.
Yeah.
Like I said, it wasn't just great offenses where it's just 5-yard outs all day long. A lot of physical plays. So you might be wrong. It's not as if we needed a softer Rutgers before we came into town, but and hopefully it's another game where we can get a good lead early and rest guys. Get CJ maybe get him another half, and where we're up 24 or 35 points, get him out at halftime. Kyle can come in and play fine, or Jack, if you're whatever, you want to bring in Kyle. I think Kyle would have deserved to stay number 2.
Yeah.
So let's get it to a point where it's all right. We're bringing in our second team offense this next series. So all the first team offense comes out, because that's where the confusion. That's where the confusion will be in, is if Kyle's out there with Garrett and Chris, and starting O-line, then people are going to ask questions. But if you're going to have to go, first team and second team. But hopefully we get to that point. That's build a big enough lead, put the game in hand, let your second team all run it. Rotate your running backs like you normally are. They're doing like every off series. Because mine was still running in the fourth quarter because he didn't run at all in the third. So, you got those 3 that you're kind of changing around. Yeah. Hey, it worked. At one point it was 8 carries, and 9 carries.
Yeah, it's very evenly distributed.
And that's fine. We don't need Trey Henderson getting 25 carries against Akron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't 30 carries. We don't need that. It's smart. I thought the way they handled the running backs was fine, because you're getting whenever. I mean, it was Akron, so you expected to get production, and they all got. Nobody was struggling. Nobody got dinged up. So hopefully Rutgers. You're probably gonna go with Trey and Mayan a little bit more. Then you're probably gonna see a lot of Master in the late third and fourth, which is great. That's the dude you want beating on a defense that's been beaten up all day. So.
All right. Well, let's jump into our microscopes here. Shawn, who do you have on offense?
I got my boy Trey Henderson.
There you go. Called it. Jeff, you set him up.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I expect him to have a big day. Here against Rutgers.
It's about time, because he really hasn't had a good day yet. Sorry, go ahead.
The guy's just electric.
Yeah.
I mean, every time he touches the ball, and he gets the tough yards too. I always think he's gonna, it's 3-4 more yards.
Yeah.
The dude is
falls forward, doesn't he, for a few?
I expect big things. He does, and this is going to see, if Blake, they just shut down Blake Corum and Haskins, essentially, at least yardage wise.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what they can do to this squad, led by Henderson.
Yeah, Jeff, who do you have on offense?
Who did I have on Microscopes last week, Joe? You checked the tape?
I can check the tape, yeah. You had...
I believe I had...
You had Olave.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. I will keep it on Chris Olave.
Shawn, you had CJ, by the way.
Yeah. How did he look over there, Shawn? I mean, he had his shoulder pads.
He did.
Those shoulder pads, I don't even think were buckled. But no, they didn't.
That was just silly to me, almost.
Mm-hmm.
To have him
dressed.
To have him dressed.
He was emergency contact. He's my emergency contact.
And I think you have to. I think you have to do it that way. You have to list him that way and have him dressed, because say if McCord starts and say McCord gets a knee blown out.
Yeah.
Now you have Jack Miller playing, but you got to have somebody ready to be the backup to Jack in case we've all seen 2 quarterbacks get injured for a team in a game.
When was that?
Right?
I mean, walk-ons or whatever.
Yeah, we got walk-ons.
Well,
Andrade, Jagger LaRoe.
Okay. So you guys would have felt better if CJ was in street clothes and we had JP Andrade as the emergency.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have a strong opinion there, because anybody can turn around and hand it off to fucking Teague and Travion.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, if you're at your third quarterback, the game might not be going the way you want it to.
Sure.
So you might not just be handing the ball off all game. Just to milk the clock. That's what I'm getting at.
Like they're talking about an emergency. Like, hey, Akron's gonna beat us. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's tie ball game in the fourth. Get CJ in.
No, yeah, if you lose two quarterbacks, it could be a different story.
Who's your microscope?
I have no problem with. I'd have no problem with why they dressed him like they did and listed it that way. I don't know. I don't see what the big deal is with that.
Okay, so who's your microscope on offense? Let's go back to that.
Well, I'm gonna go. I'll stay with Chris Olave. I'm gonna stay with Chris Olave.
Mr. Two Catches.
Yeah. Mr. Chris Olave is gonna be back. Hopefully, he's a big fan of CJ's. Hopefully, CJ's back. They get their little mojo back together.
Too sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
We need to get Chris Olave back as a major threat.
I'm going to go with his counterpart. I'm going to go with CJ. I think CJ comes out healthy and happy, and maybe he throws it around a bit. And if Olave is lucky, he's a recipient of some of those balls. Shawn, who do you have on defense?
On defense, I'm going to go with my new guy. My new
Pope
guy. Kayvon, my man. No, my new man, Tyliek Williams.
Oh, all right.
Making plays. He's earning playing time. He's a wrecking machine.
Yeah.
He is. Him, Mike Hall. I tell you what, the freshman, getting the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties from Taunton, Hall and Jalen Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. A little bit of attitude isn't all bad. We need some. We need more dogs.
Well, yeah, when you're up on the scoreboard, it definitely isn't an issue.
No, you're right. It's kind of like you're taunting a guy that when you're up 49 points or whatever, you're taunting.
Yes,
that's kind of not cool. But
yeah,
Jalen fucking drilled that guy. Now you got to know better than to stand over top of him and flex. But he should have been excited about the play, just reacted better,
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Hall, he just did that throat slash. I don't know.
I didn't know they were still enforcing that.
It was minor too. He wasn't like looking at anybody when he did it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the throat slash. I never thought it was a big deal. I never saw anybody get offended by it. I never saw any player react to somebody doing it.
So who do you have on defense, Jeff? On your microscope? Trying to keep shit moving.
Yeah. Okay. Cody Simon. I hope he's coming out staying healthy because I want him to kind of take a hold of this defense.
All right, then.
Become the impact linebacker.
I'm going to take Teradja. I had Simon penciled in, but I'll flip to Teradja. These guys are going to get most of the snaps, especially Teradja. So linebackers need to start making more tackles, just as a whole. On the whole, you need to tackle better.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Joe.
It feels better on the whole, but
on the whole, right, not around the whole. When you watching the game, did you notice Teradja more, or Simon more, as far as like popping, like noticing, or flashing on the screen, like, oh, Cody Simon right there. Look what Cody Simon is doing.
Probably Simon, but he's in the middle too, so I don't know if that's really a fair comparison where Teradja plays the weak side. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, obviously those two are the two I probably feel most comfortable with. But Steel Chambers, I like.
He's getting in there and making plays.
Yeah, those guys, I have no problem with them. I mean, if we're gonna go even a 4, I don't know. I mean, we have Eichenberg, Simon.
I'm not an Eichenberg guy. I could do without him.
Lack of production, right? But Teradja and Simon as our main two linebackers when we're doing our bullet, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like. What it's rolling with.
Right.
Simon in the middle and Teradja on the weak side when we have the bullet and play and everything. But we're doing a lot of too high safety too, so there are some three linebackers.
Shawn, you got a preference on linebackers?
I think,
who's your third? Who's your third?
I'm liking the way Steel Chambers is playing.
I'm with that. But I don't know. But I don't. But I think I would if we're running.
He's out there playing fast.
Yeah.
And
I think if you're going to 3 linebackers, though, I think you move Teradja to the strong side. I wouldn't put Steele on strong side. But I don't know. But we're not at practice. We don't know which.
No. All right, let's get into our score predictions here before we get too far off. Buckeyes early spread is 16. I've also seen 17. We'll go with 16 just for shits and giggles. Over under 56.5, so a low scoring affair, relatively.
56. Ooh.
Yeah. What do you think, Shawn? What do you got for a final score?
I'm going 38-17.
Tight one.
Buckeyes.
Okay. Very nice. So expecting a defensive affair, kind of. Jeff,
What would you say?
Go ahead.
What's the over, Joe? What's the over?
56.5.
Okay, so I think we're going to stay under it. I think we're going to go. Let's tell you what. Let's go 38-13.
Oh, Shawnee's trying to fucking Price is Right your ass.
Barker, man. I went one penny over here.
38. Say 38-13. I think, and maybe it could be 45-13, but I'll go 38.
Okay. I'm going 44-13. I already had this penciled in.
We're dancing we're just dancing all over it.
Yeah, but I'm taking the over. So, place your bets. 44-13 cover and over. I think Shawn made a great point earlier when saying that Rutgers might be a little beat up after this Michigan game. So, especially in the trenches, I could see them being a little soft and a little bruised and battered. So, Buckeyes roll.
Yeah, and if it came down Friday night or Saturday morning, and I had to place the bet, I might end up going with the cover and the over, or we'll get the cover for sure, but the over. I could see us scoring another touchdown or two late, with second team, third team guys. But Keanu's probably going to have his fucking starters in all game, regardless of score. He's probably going to fight to the very end.
I think this is going to be a big game for the upperclassmen. The Olaves, the Teradja, these guys for what's going on right now with Kayvon Pope and stuff. And I think Dave's going to say, hey, look, I need some team leadership here, and going to come together on this, fall apart. Your choice, and I think it's got to be the upperclassmen to do it. So. I think the Olave and those guys have to. I think they're gonna have big weeks, right?
Okay. Well, let's.
Yeah, I think, Joe, real quick about Kayvon. Like we'll never get the knowledge of knowing, what the team honestly feels about it. But that's how the team will react to this situation. All depends on what kind of weight, I guess, Kayvon Pope carried in that locker room. We don't know if he was really beloved and respected by most of the teammates. Then there could potentially be some issues if they kind of take his side and agree with him. Maybe they thought he should be playing too, or is it more of the guys like, man, this fucking guy just never got it. Man, he just didn't get it. He didn't want to pay the price like we did. He didn't work like the rest of us. We'll never know for sure. Probably years later. How people really felt about him.
Did he have one of those interviews preseason when they'd sit and do those with a lot of different position group players? They do maybe 5 or 6 that you'd see on the interwebs.
When they did the linebackers, I don't remember if we heard from him or not. I don't know, but I guess the who knows? We'll probably hear more. Maybe we'll hear more about it. Some stuff will come up about what was going on in the program. But I don't know. Whatever they let us, I don't know what to say because we don't get told anything about the program. So
all right,
yeah.
Well, we
gotta hope they keep it positive and the coaches keep them on track. But it could unravel. I mean, it could lead to like a complete unraveling. We come out and look like shit against Rutgers, and then people start. You never know.
All right, well, we've got a bunch of games to run through here. Week 4, let's start with Big Ten games. Wisconsin falls to 1-2, getting the shit kicked out of them by Notre Dame with a freshman quarterback coming in the second half for the Irish.
Yeah.
Wow, that fourth quarter, 31 points Notre Dame scored.
In like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the kick return.
It was a ball game, and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
The last score I heard it was 10-10 or 13-10. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it was right around that for a long time. Second, third quarter. I heard on the radio. I came home. I came home. By the time I got out of the shower in 8, turned on the TV. It was 41. I said, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
How did that? Like, I had to rewind. I had to go check and see how that happened.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Poor showing by Wisconsin. Fucking Graham Mertz. And right when you think that somebody else has a quarterback in this league, nada. No.
You saying he looked a lot like Jack Cohn? Or Jim Sorgi? Or whoever else?
All of them. Yes. I mean, he had one game against Illinois.
Yeah.
Last year. In one game. And then
that was the first game.
Yeah, the very first game he ever played. Everybody thought he was the second coming.
Right.
Oh, now Wisconsin's going to be able to recruit talent. Now
Shocking. Wisconsin still cannot develop a quarterback. Did I say this last week? I don't know. Probably. Shocking.
Yeah.
Not really. So, 41-13. Wisconsin gets rolled. They're down to 1-2. I'm not sure they even have a sniff of the Big Ten championship game at this point. Iowa's still rolling along undefeated. So we touched on
Iowa's defense looks legit. I don't know. I don't see Wisconsin scoring on Iowa's defense.
I don't see Wisconsin scoring on anybody, honestly. Fuck.
I mean, I think that side of the conference is Iowa's to take. Really.
Yeah. Rutgers, Michigan. We touched on that one. Rutgers
good game though. That
came back and like we talked about, held Michigan scoreless in the second half. Just they didn't have the firepower to match the 20 points put up by Michigan. But the Fighting Shianos, made a ball game of it and did cover, so we're happy about that. Shawn alerted me to this one the other day. The Fighting PJs, the PJs taking it in the shorts from the Falcons. Good God.
Oh. This makes us look horrible as a conference. Like,
doesn't help our strength of schedule, that's for sure.
No, of course not. Like, just do your part, Minnesota. Do your part. Don't. Come on. What are you doing?
It's like I thought, man.
Act accordingly.
They were going to be a contender over there.
Right.
I swear, if fucking Ibrahim, dude, him being gone,
that just deflated that team.
Yeah, exactly. I think he was such a big a part of what they had going.
Yeah.
It's a completely different team, I think, without him. I mean, night and day.
Right.
They could have really improved and gotten to a point to challenge for the West, I thought. Yeah. But Jesus Christ, you can't lose to a MAC school.
Especially BG, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, not the top of the MAC schools, like not the
Toledo. It's not Toledo.
Toledo, Western Michigan's usually good. Whatever the fuck, but despicable. Anyways,
yeah. So a couple national games I want to run through. Clemson they got beat up bad by NC State. I had the +10 here. That panned out nicely. NC State wins in overtime. There's not a lot of good quarterback play going on around the country, and DJU is not good.
I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what it is. He doesn't look like it doesn't look like he knows. He doesn't look comfortable operating the offense they're operating. But I thought last year when he played against Notre Dame, I said, "Oh shit, he's legit." They got another guy. Like, I figured he's next after Trevor.
But we forgot it was fucking Notre Dame.
Yes, I guess so. Or maybe he just didn't improve at all, like one bit from last year, and maybe he just sat on and got comfortable. I don't know. But he's a big dude. It looks like he's got all the talent in the world, but he just doesn't put it together.
You keep him in the pocket, dude. He's terrible. When you get,
who was going to win that conference?
It's wide ass open. UNC. I don't know.
But they lost. They already have one conference loss to Tech, which Tech got beat up by West Virginia.
Right.
Who knows? Miami's no good.
No.
Florida State's no good.
No. Find me a team with Virginia, less than one loss. You can't.
Maybe Virginia, but Virginia gave up 59 to North Carolina, so fuck. And nobody making the playoff. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think whoever wins that conference is not making the playoffs, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, we might get this. Might be the year for Oregon because they're going to have a win over us in the record if they go 11-1 or something, or undefeated even.
Yeah.
Then your Pac-12 gets back in. Big 12, Oklahoma. I mean, they didn't look.
These guys are fucking bad. They need a last-second field goal against motherfucking West Virginia, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm done with hearing about Spencer Rattler and his epic QB play.
I know, right?
I tell you what, Spencer Rattler's the best 7-on-7 quarterback I've ever seen. But he hasn't shown me dick when there's 22 people in the field.
And they got no running game. Eric Gray led the team this week with 38 yards.
Oh, who's their fucking... What's the other running back's name?
Kennedy Brooks.
Dude. Kennedy Brooks.
Good for 17.
Hey, we got Trey Sermon in the game here for the 49ers.
Okay. So...
Yeah, look, Trey Sermon.
So, those were the big national games to talk about. Now, coming up week 5, we got some interesting ones. I think the icing or the maybe the candle on top. Michigan goes to Wisconsin. Huge game. Wisconsin can't afford to lose again. If they're going to keep their hopes alive for a shot at the Big Ten. Favored right now, the line's even. I saw -1 in favor of Wisconsin earlier today. So
really,
43.5 is the over/under. So obviously, this is going to be you get like 8 possessions in the game, maybe.
I'll take the under, but if it's even, I mean, I take Michigan to win that ball game.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, Wisconsin hasn't shown me anything. Michigan's shown that they can dominate a game by running the ball. Now, whether they can do it against Wisconsin, that's obviously the question. But their commitment to their game plan, their commitment to their game plan and their stick-to-itiveness, that could be enough to break a team like Wisconsin.
Shawn, don't you think Wisconsin can shut down the Michigan run?
I do think they can shut that Michigan run down, especially in Camp Randall.
At this point, we don't want them to either. At this point, we want Michigan to keep winning. I mean, we're not going to be rooting for Wisconsin to shut them down.
I'm fine with it either way. That's the beautiful part of it. If they lose,
yeah, I'm not sure there's a downside.
Yeah, there's really not.
Well, we don't get to play Wisconsin. It's not likely we're gonna be able to play Wisconsin. So I would rather have. Go ahead.
Michigan's on pace to have a year where they keep our ball. So I'm all for that.
I do have them under the 7.5 season wins, so I would like a loss.
Yeah. They couldn't find that when I was at the one place, so I did bet on that. And I was because that's I don't like that bet anymore.
Yeah. Well, this is Big Ten play now, so they squeaked by Rutgers.
That's true. Who do they got?
Who's Rutgers have? What?
No, who does Michigan play this week?
Wisconsin, at Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
That's your big noon?
Yeah.
The game we're talking about, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
I got lost there, man. Look at my computer.
I'm going whiskey on this game. I think at home, I know it's going to be a close one, less than a field goal. I'm going to wait to see how that spread fluctuates this week, but I'm going whiskey, especially if you're giving me points.
Okay, so Joe, what if that changes? If you buy in at whiskey minus, or well, you think if it jumps to Michigan's favor, if you get like a
yeah,
I don't know.
I'll take whiskey.
You give me whiskey and points at home? Fuck yes. I'm all over that shit.
Yeah, I'm taking that.
I just
Well, get on board then, because that's where it's at.
I don't know. Michigan looks a little better than Wisconsin to me. Just watching team by team, they look like a better team than Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. Now playing at home, it's the big noon game. It's not at night. So
who has a better quarterback? It's like saying asking who has better restrooms. I don't know.
Right.
I haven't pissed in them yet.
Right. I don't know if we know that. I mean, I think Graham Mertz has more potential. I think he has more potential for having a. I guess I'd give him more confidence. I'd give Wisconsin more confidence if they needed to come back through the air. You know, if they needed to open it up. I think they have the more capability. I think if Michigan gets down, they're less likely to be able to mount a comeback.
Let's play a game. Name the quarterback. I'll give you the stats. You tell me who's who. Quarterback number 1 is 33 of 53, 534 yards through 4 games, 3 touchdowns. Quarterback number 2, 54 of 95, 566 yards, 1 touchdown. Who's who? Mertz or McNamara is QB1?
Mertz or McNamara. McNamara is Mertz. Mertz is. I would say McNamara is the first one. I'd say McNamara has 3 touchdowns. Mertz has 1.
Shawn?
Yeah,
Same. Oh, you guys are too good. The one stat I didn't mention was the 6 picks by Mertz. I thought that might throw it in one favor.
I have seen a bunch of those. I saw the Penn State game, Notre Dame game. I mean, Wisconsin has played legit teams. It's not like their schedule so far is stronger than ours. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. That's be a good game. I would like to see. I don't know. I kind of like to see Michigan stick around. I would have bet under on them that wing total too to start the year, but I just think it'd look better for us if we beat an undefeated Michigan or we beat a 1-loss Michigan.
Did you say wing
as opposed
total?
To maybe a win total.
Winged helmet total.
Winged helmet total. I'm not wing total. What? Yeah.
All right, here's a ball game for you.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's one.
I just think it would look better for us.
Here's one coming up. Indy at Penn State. Penn State favored by 11 now.
Ooh, 11's a big number.
Over
but
under
I think
52. Indiana's 2-2 in 0-1 into Big Ten. Penn State obviously 1-0 into Big Ten, beating Wisconsin. Undefeated.
I say Penn State covers with the under.
That's a huge line.
I got covers with the over.
Okay. What do you feel about Indiana keeping that a tight one?
I feel like they're underachievers in my book.
Yeah.
And I don't think their offense can help
right now is overachievers.
Yeah.
I don't think Indiana's offense can help their defense enough in that game.
They're not getting those strip sacks and all the turnovers they had last year. They were like, plus turnovers in every game. They're just you can't replicate that every season.
Exactly. I was going to say that's how it fluctuates almost every year. That's an up and down stat for across the board football. Yeah. College and pro even. I think their offense won't be able to sustain enough to not let that defense get just fucking worn out And I think Penn State's got a better team anyway. It's not like I think Penn State's got a better roster.
Yeah.
I think they got a better coach. Tom Allen's cool. He likes to fight, and his guys get real hyped up for him. That's cool. You still don't have the talent. One, and two. Penn State owes them one. I think.
Yeah.
I think they're getting some revenge this year on some people. So Penn State looks for real. They do look. They look very confident. That's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good measuring stick for us.
They're playing some serious teams too. At Wisconsin.
Yeah,
right.
Oh yeah, they're going to be fully experienced when they come. When they come into Columbus.
Yeah.
They're going to think Penn State's coming in that game into Columbus thinking they're going to win for sure. Yeah. Like they're going to come in with that confidence.
All right, so this one, the father-son game, Cincy at Notre Dame. Cincy favored by 2.5 right now. Both teams undefeated.
Cincy's early favorite 2.5.
Yeah,
coming into Notre Dame.
Yes.
Whoa.
Touchdown.
I wonder what I'd like to see. I'd like to see what stats are on Notre Dame home dog. I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't. I think Cincinnati's a better team, but I don't like 2.5. I think I'm gonna have to. I might take Notre Dame to win outright there.
Oh. What do you think, Shawn?
Notre Dame covers at least.
I'm definitely taking Notre Dame and to win outright. I'd love to see Cincy win, but
Cincy's probably got a better team too. It's in South Bend, man. It just touchdown Jesus. I
don't know if they got the dudes like Notre Dame has the dudes, and I don't know. I think it could probably be close early, and maybe this would be such a statement game. I feel for Fighting Pickles.
I was going to say about this too.
This gets them. If they run the table, this would put them in serious consideration for one of those spots.
Yeah, if they go undefeated this year, they're definitely in the playoffs. I mean, just by body of work over the last 2 seasons. But my question is,
well, that coupled with the ACC being down this year with Clemson already losing twice,
right?
So that gives the window like, okay, you can't give an undefeated Clemson. That spot's going to be up for grabs now. So yeah, it does open the door. I'm rooting for Cincinnati. I want Cincinnati to win. I would love to see them win. How do you think that plays with both of them knowing each other's defense? I mean, it's pretty much a lot of what Freeman knows or runs is a lot of what he learned from Cole. What they played at Ohio State.
So, all right. Side note though, how do they arrive at Cincy being favored at Notre Dame? Typically, in college, you can get 4 to 5 points being a home team, depending on the home team and your stadium and student body and everything. Ohio State's going to get like 4 points. How's Notre Dame, which has to have a strong Vegas home field advantage, more than 3? How are they arriving at Cincy, basically almost a touchdown favorite?
Yeah, I don't like the line. That surprises me that Cincy was favored at Notre Dame, but how can they not be impressed? They just scored Notre Dame. The last thing they saw was Notre Dame scoring 30 points in the fourth quarter on a neutral site
with a freshman quarterback.
So
is Jack Cohn starting? That's the question. Who's starting at quarterback for Notre Dame?
Maybe that line will fluctuate quite a bit when that comes a little more clear.
Maybe that's why it is where it's at.
Right.
Well, okay. So what if it's 2.5 to Cincinnati now, but then it doesn't come out till like Friday night that the other quarterback's starting for sure,
right? And
then the fucking spread changes to like Notre Dame -6.
It could fluctuate.
I mean, what do you like? What if you already put your bet in?
Oh, you're fucked.
And then 2 days before the game, it just completely changes by like 8 points the other way. Right. You're like, what the fuck?
Oh,
what just happened?
Just coming across the wire. College football news, Clemson defensive end Brian Bresee out for the season with a torn ACL. Running back Will Shipley to miss 3 to 4 weeks. More bad news for the Clemson Tigers.
Breeze, yeah. He's the number one kid in the country, and he's been playing like he's the number one. He was the number one kid in the country.
Yeah, he's a handful.
Yeah, I was talking about Clemson though. So Clemson's out of the playoff, most likely, unless there's. But you never know. We might. Maybe this is the year we see five people. 5 top teams. Maybe there's only 2 undefeated and 5 got 2 losses. If Oklahoma loses 2, they might be out. But their conference is shit and they got 2 losses. So yeah, you're right. They should be out. But if we fuck around and lose again, and Oregon fucks around and loses twice, and SEC all eats each other up, you never know.
It matters. I think they got 1 and 2 right. I think Alabama and Georgia are the 2 best teams in the country, and it's not real close right now. I don't feel.
No, you're right. I agree. But yeah, I think Clemson. I tell you what, the way Clemson looks, they don't even look like they're done losing. I think they got a few more of those.
Well, yeah, losing starters is not going to help.
Skowski's just a walking suspension.
Yeah, he shows up. He shows up to the game without his pads on.
That fucking nut job. Can you imagine what that dude's like at the frat house? Like,
no.
He's just like.
Been there 9 years.
He's got to be the worst. Like, I'm sure even his teammates are like, this motherfucker again.
Yeah.
He's got it again he's got the. Who knows? That dude. He just looks like the biggest fucking meathead.
He's definitely a meathead for sure. But all right, boys.
Anyways, yeah, you're right. So we should stop talking about Clemson because they're pretty much done. That'll be the last time we talk about them.
Yeah, they're not relevit anymore.
We can make fun of them a couple more times.
Okay.
Hey, wait, real quick, Joe. What about Jamison? Jamison Williams is putting his Heisman candidacy together in Alabama.
Yeah.
FYI, he's got three plays of 100 yards, three touchdowns of 100 yards this year.
Nobody said he wasn't fast.
I mean, but like, we couldn't use him that way. He didn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, they just run him as a deep threat, and he returns kicks, and he looks electric. He looks like the Jamison Williams we all thought we were going to see for 2 years. Everybody talked about Jamison Williams. He's fastest guy on the team. We don't see him catching fucking but 6 passes.
Right.
But he goes to Alabama, and that's a big indictment on us, though. You know, Alabama can turn you into a star. You wouldn't even start in Ohio State, but you're a star at Alabama. That can go both ways, you know.
Yeah, but we got our comfort, and
we're fine without him. I don't mean that we're like, what are we gonna do? But it doesn't look good for us when he goes to Alabama and just blows the fuck up. Now everybody in the country knows Jamison Williams.
I don't know. Some people are saying, look, he's not good enough to start at Ohio State.
Let me see him put together some games of 6+ receptions for 100 yards.
I got you.
Let me see him put those together. Kickoff returns for touchdowns. That doesn't really translate to the NFL. Let me see you be consistent week to week and not just fast, maybe catch everything that comes your way.
But you'll always get opportunities when you pass. So,
well, that SEC ball's about to start, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I tell you what. Oh, Alabama. Is Alabama playing Ole Miss this week? I think.
Yeah, but it's at home.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good game though. That might be. What's the over/under on that fucking game? That's got to be about 78.
Yeah, it is 77.5. Bama's favored by 14.5. So.
Give me Ole Miss. Give me Ole Miss to cover.
I don't know about that, dude. It's at Alabama. 2 touchdowns. I'll lay off that.
Ole Miss can score on anybody. They scored 40-some on, was it 48 on Bama last year? 42 or 48?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Telling you. And Bama's offense is not last year's offense. I just saying, I think Bama wins, but I think it's within 14 points if that's the spread. I take Ole Miss to cover. Lane Kiffin will attack.
Let's see his defense stop somebody though. But, all right, boys, great show. As always, hit the site, hit the store, free shipping. Download the show, recommend it to a friend, subscribe, all that good shit. Jeff, Shawn, good job tonight. Take care.
Same to you, brother.
See you.
Glad you're feeling better.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right. Later.